Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar, and I'm with you with the area of ABFM. So let's begin with the class. We were talking about hybrid finance. So here comes the first question, everyone. This question says that we have 1 point of reasoning and 1 point of assertion. Chali. It says that the warrants are financial instruments that provide the holder with the right to purchase a predetermined number of rates. Warrants are form of debt instruments that obligate the holder to buy a specific number of shares. Both the assertion and reasoning are true. Both the assertion and reasoning are true, but there is correct or incorrect information. It is true, but reasoning is false, or assertion is false. What's the correct answer, everyone? The warrants are financial instruments that provide this, and second is they are a form of debt instrument. This is actually a kind of debt instrument where there is an obligation. It comes up with an obligation that you will have to pay to that particular person one or the other way. Okay, here comes the next question. Again, an assertion and reasoning based questions. In the case of preferential allotments in India, buyers of warrants have to pay the full warrant upfront. This upfront payment is non refundable regardless of whether the warrants are exercised or not. When we talk about the preferential allotments in India, buyers of warrants have to pay the amount upfront. And is it non refundable, whether it is exercised or not? It's not exercised, there is nothing, there is no point of charging the money there. Na? So, one thing is true that when we talk about assertion, assertion is correct. But when it comes to the reasoning, reasoning is false. First thing is correct, but this is wrong. Okay, so in this case, I can say that both are correct. No, both are correct. Again, no, I think I'll go for C. Assertion is true, but the reasoning is false. So that is assertion is true, but the reasoning is false. Done, everyone? Next question. What is the primary characteristic of a warrant? It obligates the holder to buy a predetermined number of equity shares. It gives the holder of the right to buy, not an obligation to buy, right? It is not an obligation, but a right to buy the equity shares. It offers fixed rate of interest. It provides the holder of with voting rights of the company. In terms of warrants, now the shareholder is basically assured कि sir currently though I cannot give you the shares, I'm sorry, but maybe in the future we can provide you. So I assure you that part, that when we will be having shares of the company now, we will give you, right? So is this an obligation or a right? So in this case, what would be the answer? When it's a right, not an obligation, what will it be? When it's actually a right, Vesena, it is always a right, not an obligation when it comes to warrant. Even in the dividend area as well, now once we talked about the area of hybrid and all, now it is something which is there. It gives the holder the right, but not an obligation to buy at predetermined rate. Predetermined means this particular rate is already decided. Ki, acha, these are the number of shares, and this is what we want to do with them. Okay. Why are warrants sometimes attached to debt instruments? To require the holder to convert the debt into equity, to make the debt instrument more attractive, to increase the interest payments on the debt, to grant the holder voting rights in the company. What would it be? When we talk about this enough, why are warrants sometimes attached to the debt instruments? See, this is basically now. Warrants are basically a right, isn't it? This is not something that we are making sure that it is there. But when we are adding it to a debt, first of all, we are raising loans from the market, but we are also offering them a share, a right that they can use later on. This becomes more attractive for them, isn't it? Now they can have the shares of the company later on. So, this is something which would be more attractive to them, because ultimately you get a debt plus option of having equity in the future. So in this case, people who didn't even think about buy the they were not thinking about buying the particular debt or investing in that company, this particular offer looks more lucrative to them. One plus one free definitely attracts other people. So in this case, the correct answer would be to make the debt instrument more attractive to investors. In context of the warrant pricing in preferential allotments in India, what is the purpose of the floor price for warrant conversion? What is the purpose of the floor price? When we talk about to set the maximum price of the warrant to ensure that the warrants are never exercised, to protect the interest of minority, or to encourage more companies to issue warrants. See, when we're talking about the floor pricing, we are looking forward towards a specific pricing for these areas, huh? And we are looking forward towards preferential allotment. Matlab, we will choose the people to whom we are giving the warrants. Doesn't this mean that we are making sure our equity is not kept blindly? Point is, these people have the right. Maybe in future they would change towards equity. Once they become an equity shareholder, if their shareholder becomes their shareholding becomes too much, they can take decisions regarding everything. And I'll be standing there onto a side thinking that, array, my business is gone. Why would I want that? So in this case, there is no maximum price of foreign conversion. We would be looking forward to it. We would never want that these are never exercised. Why would we issue if you're thinking about that? Right? To encourage more companies to issue warrants is never the point. Why are we looking into other organizations? We are looking at the fact that if I see, the point is, I know A, B, and C. I have asked B ki B, you can you have a specific number of extra shares? B said, yeah, I can have. So in the future, he has an option to have more shares. Right now he doesn't, but maybe in the future he can take up more shares. So even if he takes up more shares, he is still being the person who has good number of shares of the company. So he still holds a decision making. Then this is good now. So basically, the people who the entire warrant system, when converted into equity, it should not change the composition of the majority and minority altogether. If the game is changed altogether, it can create a lot of problems. That is why if you are making any preferential allotment, right, it's just to make sure that the minority shareholders are not affected by it. ठीक है ना? Next portion. In the early 1980s, how were convertible debentures in India typically required to be converted? Compulsorily and partially at the discretion of the debenture holder, only after the credit rating was obtained, or after minimum of 36 months. In terms of the debentures, na, they both the things were there. You can be compulsorily moving it or partially converting it. You can convert it into debentures, or the debentures can be converted into equity, but it was always at a predetermined rate. Okay, it is always at a predetermined rate. It is already defined. Which regulatory authority had control over the term of convertible debentures before SEBI? Okay, I just gave you a point there. Earlier, before 1992, SEBI didn't exist. So, what was that particular organization which existed in terms of stock exchanges? The SEBI came in 1992. So before that, was it controller of the capital issues, RBI or Ministry of Finance? Ministry of Finance was never the one who was looking after all these. RBI was never looking forward about this. SEBI just came later. So in this case, the correct answer is B. You can use the portion of elimination to do these questions as well. It was controller of capital issues. Okay. What major regulatory change in India occurred in 1992 after convertible debentures? Acha, what do you mean by convertible debentures, everyone? The debenture holders who are given the debentures which can be later on, not right now, but later on can be converted into equity shares. You know, the introduction of SEBI, the imposition of stricter credit rating requirements, the requirement for all debentures to be fully convertible, the extension of conversion period to 60 months. What would be the answer? Basically, now, in wherever you find 1992, one of the basic thing that happened in 1992 was making up of SEBI. Coming up of SEBI made the particular transparency in terms of working all together. They've made sure that the entire country is working, excuse me, in terms of securities in a very transparent manner. They wanted in the transparency in this area. They started with the screen-based trading, and later on, demat accounts are maintained. This particular exchange has made the working all together more systematic. So in this case, it is the introduction of Securities and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI. Okay, here comes the question, everyone. Assertion is both warrants and convertible debentures confer a call option on the equity stock of corporation. Acha, call option is company has the right to ask the people ki sir aa jaiye, please let me make the payment for you. And then put option is basically in the second case, it is like in the case of convertible debentures, the debentures and the options are inseparable. Does this happen? This happens when we talk about convertible debentures. This is at the discretion of the company what they want to do. Currently, now they have. In case of convertible debentures, that means they have the choice that do you want to convert these debentures into equity shares. Convertible means which can be converted. You know? So we're looking forward towards which can be converted further. So both assertion and reasoning are true. The reasoning is correct. Both the assertion and reasoning are true, but it is not correct. The assertion is true, but reasoning is false, or assertion is also false. So I think in this case, since we're talking about the convertible debentures and the this particular thing, convertible means which is converted, na? So that means in this case, the correct answer would be A only. Both of these are correct. It is the company which makes the decision that yes, sir, we have money, we can give you, sir, we do not have money, so we are giving you debentures instead of anything else. This happens. Basically, now when we talk about debentures, now debentures can be called as convertible and non-convertible. What's the difference between the two, everyone? Under convertible debentures, we can the company when while at the time of redemption they can decide कि नहीं, we're not giving you cash. If we earlier had debt or from you, instead of making the payment, let's make you the owners of the organization. We are issuing equity shares. So now you will no longer receive interest, you will now receive dividend. That's the entire scenario regarding convertibility there. Okay. Non-convertible is at the time of payment. You pay in cash. There's no other way through which you can pay. Oh. At the time of payment, you pay in cash. Done, everyone? Next point. I hope all the points are visible. Now, have a look at the question even. Assertion is given that warrants can be issued independently without any association with another financial instruments. Or convertible debentures are typically issued as standalone securities. Warrants are basically can we can issue only debentures and we can issue only warrants. This is allowed. You can have any of these. Convertible debentures are typically issued as standalone securities. Normally, they are issued like that only. There is no reason to have both of these together. Convertible debentures plus warrants, they cannot be issued compulsorily together. Okay? Both the assertion and reasoning are true, and the reasoning is the correct explanation. Both the assertion and reasoning are true, but reasoning is not correct. Assertion is true, but reasoning is false, or the assertion is false. I would say both of these can be issued individually. Debentures are something that we are trying to raise money from the market. So the loans can be raised at any point of time with any amount of money, right? So there is no compulsion ki nahi, warrant should be there. If I say that with one particular pen, refill is free. Now even if I sell the refill separately, no problem. Even if I give the if I sell the pen separately, no problem. It's just that we are giving it together. Debentures and warrants when given together becomes more attractive, but that doesn't mean that these things cannot be working independently as well. So in this case, both the assertion as well as reasoning are true, and the reasoning is the correct explanation of the assertion, right? Done. Let's move on towards the next question. Today I've got a lot of questions which are based upon reasoning and assertion. I think by the time this examination would come, you will be having good number of questions there which can be based upon reasoning and reasoning and assertion. Then it can also be based upon match the following. Then they have the area fill in the blanks with the MCQ format. And it has been stated even that theoretical questions, there can be questions regarding fill in the blanks as well, but pure fill in the blanks would be asked only in terms of numericals as given by the CAIIB there. So this is expected that in the examination you will have these set of questions, right? The question, it says assertion Both warrants and convertible debentures confer a call option on the equity stock of corporation. Reasoning is, in the case of convertible debentures, the debenture and the option are inseparable. Now, this is similar to the point we have talked about. Okay, I think we are done with this question specifically. But when we talk about this area, it is talking about warrants and convertible debentures. If you give them together, it's good because it becomes more interesting. But if you give them separately, there is no problem even. Na? In case of convertible debentures, a debenture and the option are inseparable. When we are putting this particular convertible debentures, na, then we are giving them the option as well, right? That option in terms of the converting them into equity shares or the cash. That option is still there. And yes, it is inseparable because the condition of convertible means it can be converted. So in this case, both are correct. There is no hard and fast rule that it has to be converted. It can be converted. Next question, everyone. Which of the following is the key difference between the warrants and the convertible debentures? Warrants can only be issued with debentures while convertible debentures can stand alone. Convertible debentures can be exercised for monetary compensation. Warrants resulting in accounting transfer while convertible debentures inject additional capital into the company when exercised. Or convertible debentures can be separated from the call option they confer, while warrants cannot be separated. So I would say, Acha, we have just talked about this topic a lot. So there is one particular thing. What is the key difference between warrants and convertible? Warrants can be issued with debentures while convertible debentures stand alone. This is not true. Most of the time, warrants and convertible debentures can be issued together. Then comes convertible debentures can be exercised for monetary compensation. Convertible debentures will never give you more flow of money. It's just that he was earlier your debenture holder, now he's becoming an equity shareholder. So in both the cases, you're not getting it. Warrants result in the accounting transfer, while convertible debentures inject additional capital. In both the cases, you get money. In one, you get a loan. In the other, you can get equity. But that is a right to get equity share over the period of time. So one thing is true: convertible debentures can be given separately, while warrants cannot be. In this particular case, right? So the point is D. Convertible debentures can be separated from the call option they confer, while warrants cannot be separated. This is one of the key differences among the two. In case of warrants and convertible debentures, which of the following is true? Warrants can only be exercised for additional shares. Convertible debentures can be issued independently. Both warrants and convertible debentures can result in injection of capital, or warrants are typically issued as standalone securities. See, this question is very similar to what we have had earlier. It's just a change in the statements there. In this case, I would say the first point. Acha. Warrants can only be exercised for additional equity shares. No. Convertible debentures can be issued independently without association with another financial instrument. Convertible means you have equity involved in it. So you cannot blindly say this. Then warrants are typically issued as standalone. No. They are many times with the convertible debentures. So in this case, the correct answer would be C. Right? Chali. So let's end it here, everyone. But before I end my particular session, let's look at our website. You just have to go on to www.adda247.com, and there you will find our CIIB courses. If you haven't reviewed them yet, then kindly go ahead and check it out on our website and our app. Right now, I've opened up the website. You can see it on www.adda247.com. If you go onto the area of CIIB November 2023, our batches are out, everyone. The new batches are starting from November 1. So if you're interested in it, you can take it up, as the particular Power Pack batches would be out on 1st of November. It would be costing 2644.77 after getting 77% discount. If you want, then you can also take up the Mahapack. The Mahapack is also available. It is Mahapack 2.0. It includes both live plus recorded classes. It is basically English. That is, both English as well as Hindi are available under this. That means bilingual classes plus the English medium, both are available. All the electives are available, all the ebooks are available, all the videos are available, test series is available, online live classes are available. All these features that you might be looking forward to are available there. All the electives are included in it. Live classes, case studies, all the four subjects plus all the electives, whatever elective you have chosen, you can look at for the particular class. 10 hours of mini marathons, more than 5 hours of Maha marathons, practice paper, and every second and fourth Saturday the doubt sessions. So all these things we are coming up. So kindly check it out on our website, on our app for all these areas. What you can do is you can click on the area of buy now, use the code OCT77, OCT77, and you'll get it for 8472.51. Right? So if you're looking forward to it, so then kindly check it out on our website or in our app for further details, everyone. So let's meet up in the next class. Thank you.